at 5-Minute Fridays. And today I want to talk about the fact that, you know, when I was a teenager and I wanted to go camping, I thought the great outdoors, man. You go out with a sleeping bag, a book of matches, and maybe a baked potato to throw in the fire, or a can of Van Camp's pork and beans and a hot dog, and you're set. When on earth did it get so complicated? Well, today I'm going to tell you that it's complicated, especially if you live on the road as an RVer or a van person, and you make a living on the road. So this is kind of dedicated to all of those people that seriously need to be connected. I mean, seriously, your income is depending on a reliable connection. The problem is cell towers, distances, and all of that. So what on earth do you do for power? Well, we talked about power last time with Suwaki, or the time before, but how do we get that cell signal successfully to your device, your phone, your iPad, your computer, and how do you boost it when you only have 1 bar or 2 bars, which isn't that important. Anyway, so stick around and let's take a look at our setup, okay? Here we go. Okay, everybody ready? Okay, so what we're going to do now is look at what kind of power am I getting, or reception, in order to connect to the internet while camping. Now, earlier we talked about how we got our solar energy through one product that I have, but now it's really important that I get reception, and there's several ways to do it. One is to camp out under a cell tower, which will probably get you all the connectivity you want. The other way is to boost the cell power that you have, and there are products out there that will help you boost it. Now, before we go any further, there are some people out on the internet that just immediately suspect the worst about people in life. They're generally just unhappy people, but to appease everyone, I buy all of my own equipment and pay full price for it. I'm not getting endorsed or anything, so I'll say the positives and negatives about each one of them. But anyway, so the product that I use to increase the cell signal is called a weBoost. Not only a weBoost, but a weBoost Reach, and this is what it looks like. Okay, and what it does is it takes a signal through what we call an omnidirectional antenna. That's like a magnet, sticks on top of the roof of your car, so while you're driving. It's not the same kind that's designed for an RV. It's designed for driving and everything. Anyway, I bought that one because it reaches to the best signal, even if there's 2 towers. It's technical, blah blah blah, but anyway, it's a really nice product. It does a good job. So there's different ways to connect to it. I actually connect it to my Suwaki solar panel through a cigarette lighter. You can also do it on your car while you're driving through that cigarette lighter attachment to power it. And it has 2 antennas, one that goes on top of your vehicle, and I'll show you that one right here. This is what it looks like, and it's got a cable that comes in, and then it actually then goes to a smaller internal antenna that has to be close to your device, like your cell phone, your iPad, whatever device you have that's receiving the Wi-Fi signal. Okay, so that's pretty much it. But then you have to have, well, you've got the power source that goes into one side, you've got the external antenna, that omnidirectional antenna that goes in, and then what goes out is the signal that's been boosted to a little antenna that puts it out into your vehicle. Okay, so that's been working okay for me. The only problem is it's not enough sometimes, and the reason is an omnidirectional antenna goes like omnivores, like carnivores eat meat, omnivores eat everything. Omni means everything, and so it's all direction. So whatever power you have, it's being shot out or received in a 360-degree angle. So what I did was I bought a directional antenna that will actually focus all of that sending and receiving in the actual direction of the cell phone tower. And there are ways to do that on your phone. There's two apps I'll be showing you. One is going to be this one, which gives you a lot of your readings and the general direction location of the tower. And then this one, which gives you kind of, it points to where the tower is, and it also gives you the megabits. The first one gives you decibels, which are really more important, and then the megabits per second that you use, and you probably are more familiar with, is that. Get these two apps and you'll be fine. So what I did was I bought this unidirectional antenna that you can see, and then what I did was I bought a painter's pole that extends, you know, up to 15 feet, I think, I don't know, and that gets it above the trees, or it gives it a fighting chance to get the signal. And then I can turn it in the direction, once I find on these apps the direction of the antenna, I turn it there. So let's look at a couple differences, okay? So let's just take a look at these, and I'm going to switch to narration, so there may be a difference in volume, so don't sweat it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first we're going to be using just our cell phone for this part. We're not using any of the boosters, and we're very, very close to an antenna, so the signal's very strong. So this may not be the best comparison between the three, but it should serve its purpose. As you can see, we're using the cell network info. It gives us decibel readings, which are really strong, and not only shows you the direction of the antenna, but pretty much a general distance of it on a map, which is really kind of cool. So by itself, the cell phone is having great reception, and again, I can see the cell tower from where I'm at. But if we use the other app called Open Signal, we're going to be able to check the actual megabits, which is what you're used to, or most people are used to at home. You know, they guarantee them 50 or 100 megabits a second speed, or 5 or 10 depending. So as you can see, we're camping right now in a ridiculously great signal. Okay, and you can also use this app, the Open Signal, to use the pointer to where the tower is. It doesn't give the distance, but it gives a direction, which is really great when you're using the unidirectional, when you're just pointing that. And once again, we were not using the booster at all. Now we're going to use a booster. We're going to look at the current speed and power, the power in decibels, but now we're going to turn the booster on. Now watch what happens here. It goes from 95 to 99 to, wow, minus 65 decibels, which is, you can pretty much do anything at that speed. It's an incredible speed. So using the small Omni antenna that's put on a magnet on top of the roof is having tremendous results at close range. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to just look at the other app, Open Signal, and we're going to see what this looks like in megabits per second, which is what most people know their speeds at home, 10 megabits, 50, 100. And we're going to see now that there's a significant increase in the megabits per second with just a stock booster. And once again, this stock weBoost with this little Omni antenna is going to be excellent for close range and pretty good when you start getting like 2 bars or like minus 110. Okay, but now let's take a look at it with the unidirectional, or the directional antenna that you put on a large painter pole that actually points. And once again, we're using the cell network info, or network cell info, and let's take a look at the performance on that. We're just going to go ahead and power that up now, and we'll talk about these connectors later, but I have them listed below this video if you want to buy them. It's a it's a specific set of connectors you need to fit with the weBoost Reach. So if you're going to do that, use my links below. Okay, so we're sitting at again, a huge shift from not having the booster. 64, 63, minus 63. Those are great. Very similar to the Omni. But I think the big difference is going to go when we are further away from a tower. But this shows you a really good indication of how this product works. And again, these connectors, very important you get the right ones if you're interested in using the weBoost reach with the directional antenna. Okay, so in conclusion, I'm working on primarily the weBoost reach. Now, the problem with the weBoost reach is it does not necessarily work with a unidirectional antenna. There are connectors you need to get with it. And so I'm going to put those in the description below. Now, I contacted weBoost and they actually were wonderful. They were very nice, and they sent me an itemized order form with pricing where I could order it from them, and they gave me the part numbers. Unfortunately, no offense, weBoost, but you were hitting me for about $85 or $89 for this directional antenna, and the same thing on Amazon was $45 or $49. So come on, a $40 increase, 100% increase, a little bit steep, don't you think? So anyway, make your own decisions as usual, get what you need, and good luck, and we'll see you next week.